Hello everyone. So this is our last art element. This is color, and then after that we are going to start taking notes on our art principles, which is basically just how we organize art elements. So we take line, we take shape, we take color, how we organize them in a picture. So up top I need your name, and I need your class period. So color. Color is produced when light from the sun or from a light bulb touches an object and is reflected into the eye. So if I'm sitting there and I'm looking and I have my light source over here in my classroom, that light comes down, it touches, so right now it's touching the black and it's reflecting back into my eye. So black absorbs all colors, so because I don't see any color, it turns up black in my eye whenever it's processed. Light comes down and touches the white of the paper, bounces back into my eye, and light reflects all colors, white does. And so whenever that happens, I see white. So whenever we start coloring this, we are actually literally changing how this paper is, because we're adding in different pigments, colors, that actually whenever they touch them, they reflect back into our eyes as a different color. So our primary colors. Primary colors are colors that if I go out in nature, I actually have to pick them up. So I have to pick up a red flower, I have to pick up a yellow stone made of sulfur, or I have to pick up a blue. They have some different blue stones out there like azurite. So I have to take these objects, crush them up, and then turn them into a pigment. I literally cannot create these colors any other way. I have to find them out in nature. So our primary colors, as you kind of guessed, is red. Color them all nice and neatly in our box. Yellow, and blue. Oops. So just because you have those three colors out already, just to save yourself some time and effort, we're going to go slide down to the bottom of the sheet, and where it says red, yellow, and blue, these are also our circles. We're going to go fill those in. So I find my blue and I fill it in with our blue. Find that red again. Fill that in. And lastly, yellow. So these are our primary colors, and again, you cannot make these. I have to go out into nature, find them, crush them up, and then create the pigment. So with secondary colors. Secondary colors are whenever I mix two of my primaries, and that creates a new color. So to help me out, I touch these two. These two colors make orange. Fill in that box nice and neat. Whenever I touch these two, I have yellow and blue. That makes green. And because we have one more box, I'll show you the trick for that one. Green's in there neatly. Okay, so then you're going to have to touch the outside too. So red and blue make purple. Our last secondary color. It's also called violet because purple is actually a term that Crayola coined. So if I say purple or violet, they are the exact same thing. Okay, so just like we did before, I'm going to touch these two colors. So I have blue and red. In between makes violet. So if you ever get stuck and you don't know how to mix a color, I touch two colors, and whatever in between is the two colors I mix together to make that color. So I have violet again. Touch my red and yellow. In between is orange. And last but not least, I touch blue and yellow. In between is green. Okay, so let's get to our questions so that we understand this. So what makes purple and violet? So we're actually going to go in reverse. So if I touch violet and I take 2 fingers and I spread them out, what 2 colors do I see? So I see blue and I see red. So I need to be able to have those written down in this space because I need blue and red to make violet. Okay, this time I'm taking 2 different colors. So I put my fingers on yellow and on blue. In between these 2, when I connect them together, what color do I make? I make green. So fill that out with green. Okay, so again, we're spreading out our fingers. So we have orange, because we have 2 different spaces. So I touch orange, I spread out my 2 fingers, I have red, and I have yellow that I just touched. So those need to go into those spaces. Okay, so quick review just to make sure that we all have this before we flip over our paper. Primary colors are red, yellow, blue. If I touch red and yellow, I make orange as a secondary color. If I touch yellow and blue, I make green. And if I touch red and blue, I make violet or purple. Our answers are what makes purple and violet. I touch it, spread out, I have red and blue. If I have yellow and blue, so I touch both, and I pull my fingers together, I have green. And making orange, I touch red, I'm touching orange, sorry. I'm spreading out my fingers, and I'm touching red and yellow. Okay, so, and this all needs to be colored in as well. And once you guys have all this done, we're gonna go flip over onto the back. So this is where the tricky part comes in. These are called color schemes. So I'm taking and looking at my color wheel and basically pulling different colors from them to make a picture that feels like it goes together. So the actual definition of color schemes is the arrangement or combination of colors for specific use in art. So whenever they say for the specific use, basically I'm either picking a picture that I want to feel harmonious, like it goes together, or complementary, I'm going on the opposite side. I don't want it to feel like it goes together. I want something to stand out. So first we're going to talk about analogous. Analogous colors are 2 to 3 colors right next to each other on the color wheel. So if I flip back over real quick, because we're talking about the color wheel, these are 2 to 3 colors that if I touch, they are all connected. So I can have these 3, these 3, these 3. Just as long as they touch, those are analogous. So, with this question, if I want yellow in my picture, it's my favorite color for instance, what 2 colors would I go with it in an analogous color scheme? So I have yellow, and I need 2 other colors that fit with it. Now this one can actually go in several different directions, so there's really no, there is a wrong answer, but as long as I have yellow in it and it touches that color, you're okay. So if I go touch yellow, I can go swing to the outside, I can go swing 3 over, I can go swing 3 over this way. So for instance on ours, I'm just going to go with green and blue because I want these colors together. So I have yellow, green, and blue, and I'm going to go write those in my answers. So yellow, got it, green, or blue. Our other answers could be yellow, green, and orange. So I already have yellow, green, orange, or I could go yellow, orange, and red. So yellow, orange, and red. So you can pick any of these and it would be correct. Now, on the opposite end is complementary. Complementary colors are colors opposite each other on the color wheel. So if I go back to my color wheel again, these are completely on the opposite side. One thing that you could do to help you out is just draw these little lines. So if they're on the complete opposite side and I touch green, if I walk straight over, we have red. If I touch yellow, that would be violet. If I touch orange, that's going to be blue. That's our school colors too. And now I've touched all of them. Now it gets a lot more complicated when you add the colors that are in between the stages, but this is a really basic one. So I have blue and orange, red and green, yellow and violet. Now, if I go touch red, because it's opposite on the color wheel, I should be able to find it pretty quickly on my color wheel. So I'm touching red, and we got to find the opposite. So I touch red, and on the opposite end is green. Flip my paper back over, I have green. If I have blue, I'm going to go touch that on my color wheel. Touch, straight across is orange. And last but not least is yellow. Touch yellow, straight across is violet or purple. Okay, just to make sure that we all have the same answers. For number 1, if I want yellow in my picture, what 2 colors could go with it in an analogous color scheme? It can be any of these answers. For mine, I picked green and blue because they touch that yellow. Complementary, they're opposite each other on the color wheel. So we touched red, I have green because it's on the opposite end. I touched blue, we have orange, that's our school colors. And yellow is complementary with violet or purple. Once you guys have all these nice and neat, you guys can tuck them inside your portfolio. If we have extra time, we'll talk about our art principles, but I have a feeling that we're going to start on that on Wednesday. So if you guys have any questions, need any extra help, please let me know by raising your hand. I'd be glad to help you guys out. Thank you for watching.